Take two people starting in the same financial position with the same income and the same super. Fast forward a few years and it's quite possible for one to retire with an extra $100,000. And the difference wasn't a hot investment property tip from a sleazy looking bloke standing in front of a rented Maserati on Facebook. It was how they utilised their super contributions. In this video, I'll show you how concessional and non-concessional contributions work and how to use both to your advantage. Hey, I'm Chris Strano, founder of SuperGuy.com.au and managing partner at Toro Wealth, where our vision is to be Australia's most trusted retirement planning firm. If you're new here, hit subscribe for regular retirement planning tips. And just a reminder, this video is general information only, not personal advice. So why do contributions matter so much before retirement? In retirement, your investments will provide your income. How much income you end up with depends on three things: how much you invest, the return on those investments, and something many people overlook, how they're taxed. That's what makes superannuation so attractive. Investment earnings inside super are taxed at lower rates than they would be in your own name outside of super. And contributions, well, they're simply a way you can get money into that tax-effective environment. Essentially, the more money you have in the tax-effective super environment, the more of your returns you actually get to keep, which means higher income, longer lasting savings, or both. So there are two main categories you'll hear about: concessional contributions, money that goes in before tax, and non-concessional contributions, money you've already paid tax on going into super. I know concessional and non-concessional doesn't sound like something to get excited about, but stick with me because this stuff can genuinely add thousands to your super balance over time. Let's go over each. Firstly, concessional contributions. Concessional contributions are before tax payments made into your super. They include your employer's superannuation guarantee. That's the compulsory contribution your employer pays on top of your salary. Then there's salary sacrifice, where you redirect part of your pre-tax pay into super rather than into your bank account. And finally, personal contributions, where you contribute your own money and claim a tax deduction on your tax return. These contributions are taxed at 15% or 30% for very high income earners when they enter your super, instead of your usual income tax rate, which can be as high as 47%. Once invested, earnings inside super are only taxed at up to 15%, which is usually lower than what you'd pay outside super. So the potential benefit? You reduce your taxable income and grow more in super. This makes concessional contributions especially valuable in your final working years when you're likely earning more and paying higher tax. Now, there is a cap on how much you can contribute to super as concessional contributions, which is currently $30,000 per year. But what if you haven't used your full cap in previous years? Well, there's a rule that lets you use unused amounts from the past 5 years, and it can be a game changer if you're close to retirement or have recently sold an investment. We'll cover that later in the video. So that's concessional contributions. What about non-concessional contributions? Non-concessional contributions are after-tax payments you make to your super, for example, from savings, an inheritance, or the sale of an investment. Because you've already paid tax on this money, there's no contributions tax when it goes into super. Once invested, your earnings are taxed at only 15%, just like concessional contributions. So when do people typically use them? In my experience, it's usually when they've sold an investment property or shares and they want to move the proceeds into super. Or they've received an inheritance or a large bonus. Or even if they've already maxed out their concessional cap and they still want to add more to super. The cap for non-concessional contributions is currently $120,000 per year. However, depending on your age and total super balance, you may be able to contribute more by using the bring forward rule, which allows you to use up to 3 years of the caps in advance. And we'll explain how that works later on in the video. So just to recap the key differences. Concessional contributions come from your before tax income. That includes employer super guarantee, salary sacrifice, and personal contributions you claim as a tax deduction. They're taxed at 15% when they enter your fund, or 30% if your income is above $250,000. The annual cap is $30,000, and the main advantage is the immediate tax savings. These work best as regular, ongoing contributions while you're still working. Non-concessional contributions come from your after-tax money, things like savings, an inheritance, or proceeds from selling an asset. Because this money has already been taxed, there's no tax when it enters super. The annual cap is $120,000, and the main advantage is the ability to add larger lump sums, which becomes especially valuable when you're close to retirement. These are ideal when you want to move larger amounts into super in one go. So now you know what each type does. But how do you decide which to prioritise? Well, as you approach retirement, the goal isn't just to fill the caps, it's to use each type of contribution at the right time for the maximum benefit. Here's how I'd think about it. First, start with concessional contributions. These usually make the biggest difference while you're still earning because you get the tax benefit now. You'll reduce your taxable income, pay just 15% contributions tax instead of your marginal tax rate, and boost your super balance all at the same time. Your main options are salary sacrifice through your employer or personal contributions you claim as a tax deduction in your tax return. Either way, you can contribute up to $30,000 per year. Second, check if you can use the carry forward rule. The carry forward rule lets you use any unused concessional cap amounts from the previous 5 years. So if you haven't contributed the full $30,000 each year, that unused space carries forward. This means you could make a much larger contribution in a single year and claim a bigger tax deduction than the standard cap would normally allow. To be eligible, your total super balance must have been under $500,000 on 30 June of the previous financial year. This can be really useful if you want to make a larger deductible contribution in one go, take advantage of stronger cash flow years, catch up on super before retirement, or reduce your taxable income in a year where you really need that deduction. But importantly, you only want to use up to enough of the cap where it's beneficial to do so. Otherwise, you could end up paying more tax than you otherwise would have. Third, use non-concessional contributions to add even more. Once you've optimized concessional contributions, the next step is non-concessional contributions. These help you move larger sums into super's low tax environment. They're ideal when you've already hit your concessional cap, you've got savings or a lump sum you want to invest more tax efficiently, or you simply want to build your super balance faster before you retire. With non-concessional contributions, you can add up to $120,000 per year. But if you want to contribute more in one go, the bring forward rule lets you do exactly that. It allows you to bring forward up to 2 additional years worth of the non-concessional caps, meaning you could contribute up to $360,000 in a single year. This can be a powerful way to get large amounts into super quickly, especially if you've sold an asset or received an inheritance. Here's a timing tip that sounds almost too good to be true, but it's completely legit. You could contribute $120,000 in May or June using this year's cap, then contribute up to $360,000 in July using the bring forward rule in the new financial year, because the bring forward rule is only triggered in the year that you exceed the general cap. That's potentially up to $480,000 into super within just a few months, provided you meet all the eligibility conditions. Finally, combine both for the best outcome. The best approach often involves using both types of contributions together. The right mix depends on your income, your current super balance, and how close you are to retirement. One word of caution, always check your contribution caps and the total super balance thresholds before contributing. Going over can result in penalty taxes, and that can quickly undo all of your hard work. So let me show you how this can work in practice with a real client example. Meet Sarah. Not her real name, but a pretty typical situation we see. She's 58, earning $150,000 a year with a super balance of around $400,000. She's also got $20,000 of unused cap space sitting there from previous years. Step 1, using concessional contributions to save tax. First, we focused on concessional contributions. Sarah's employer was already contributing $18,000 a year through mandatory super guarantee payments. That left room for another $12,000 before hitting the $30,000 concessional cap. So instead of taking that $12,000 as pay, we suggested she salary sacrifice it straight into super. Why did this matter? Well, if Sarah took that money as pay, she'd lose about $4,700 to tax. Instead, upon being contributed to super, it's taxed at just 15%, which is $1,800. That one move alone saved her almost $2,900 in tax. But wait, there's more. Because Sarah's total super balance was under $500,000, she could also use the carry forward rule to access unused cap space from previous years. Therefore, we recommended Sarah tip in another $20,000 using those unused caps, saving her a further $3,600 in tax. Between those two moves, Sarah added more than $27,000 to her super after tax and saved roughly $6,500 in tax in a single year. Step 2, using non-concessional contributions to add even more. Sarah had after-tax savings sitting in her bank account that she wanted to invest more effectively. So we recommended contributing $120,000 this financial year and then another $360,000 the following year using the bring forward rule. That's $480,000 moved into super's low tax environment over 2 financial years. So why did this matter? Well, all future investment earnings on that money are now taxed at just 15% inside super. Outside super, Sarah's tax rate is around 39%. Let's do a simple comparison. On a 6% return, that $480,000 would earn around $29,000 a year. Inside super, the tax on those earnings would be roughly $4,300. Outside super, she'd be looking at closer to $11,300. That's $7,000 a year in tax saved. So what does this show? By combining concessional and non-concessional contributions strategically, Sarah paid less tax now, moved more of her savings into super's lower tax environment, and grew her balance faster, helping her retire sooner and with more confidence. In fact, in 1 year, we reduced Sarah's total tax by $13,500, and those tax savings will compound year on year to put her in a much more comfortable position for retirement. And I just want to take a quick moment here because this is something I'm genuinely passionate about. Our advice firm, Toro Wealth, helps clients to do this every single day as part of their overall retirement plan. And honestly, our clients love it. And here's the thing, with financial advice fees, I can understand that it can feel like a big commitment. But the reality is, as you saw with Sarah's example, they're only a fraction of the tax that we saved, especially because we charge a one-time fee, unlike most financial advisors who lock you into never-ending monthly fees. Anyway, back to Sarah. Now, through advice from us, Sarah got it right, but I've seen plenty of people slip up, and some of these mistakes can cost you thousands. So here's what to watch out for. Exceeding contribution caps. Many people unintentionally go over their concessional or non-concessional caps without realizing. The result? Excess contributions tax, which can quickly undo all of your hard work. So always check your contribution caps and total super balance before contributing. You can find both in your MyGov account under the ATO section. But that's not the only trap. The next one is forgetting to lodge the notice of intent. If you're making a personal contribution and you want to claim a tax deduction, you need to lodge a notice of intent with your super fund and receive their acknowledgement before you can claim it. A lot of people skip this step or get the timing wrong, which means they miss out on the tax benefit entirely. Follow the correct order, make the contribution, lodge the notice of intent, receive the acknowledgement letter, then claim the deduction on your tax return. And make sure you don't switch super funds, make a withdrawal, or start a pension in the meantime. Here's another one that catches people off guard and it can really hurt. And that's triggering the bring forward rule without knowing it. If you make a non-concessional contribution over $120,000, it automatically triggers the bring forward rule, even if you didn't mean to. That locks in your cap for this year and the next 2 financial years. So if you are planning to contribute more later, you might find you've got no cap space left. Check your total super balance and plan your contributions carefully before making any large after-tax contributions. The next mistake, assuming the carry forward rule applies to you. The carry forward rule is powerful, but it doesn't apply to everyone. You can only access unused concessional caps from previous years if your total super balance was under $500,000 on the previous 30 June. If your balance was above that threshold, those unused caps aren't available to you, which means the larger contributions you were planning might not be possible. Make sure you check your total super balance before relying on the carry forward rule. And lastly, contributing when your total super balance is too high. Your total super balance affects what you're allowed to contribute. If it's close to $2 million, your non-concessional cap starts to reduce. And if it's at or above $2 million, you can't make non-concessional contributions at all. Contributing without checking this first can push you into excess contributions territory, and that means penalty tax. So here's something worth thinking about. If you retired today, would you be confident you've made the most of your contribution opportunities, or is there more you could be doing right now? As we've covered, concessional contributions deliver valuable tax savings now, while non-concessional contributions let you keep building your balance once those limits are reached. Used together, they can make a real difference to how much you retire with. But the right mix looks different for everyone. Your income, your super balance, how close you are to retirement, and even your age pension eligibility all play a part. Get it right, and you'll make the most of your final working years and step into retirement with confidence. If you're not sure where to start, that's exactly what we help with. At Toro Wealth, we work with Australians aged 55 and over to utilise their contributions for maximum benefit, so you know you're making the most of every opportunity available to you. To learn more, head over to torowealth.com.au. If you found this helpful and you want to make smarter retirement decisions, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video.